Do you know this word? Commensality. 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 It's the practice of eating and drinking together at the same table. This is a new word to me. I just found it and I thought I'd share it with you. And it relates to today's guest, Grace Keros.
Well, it was your energy and your team's energy that, made us feel, okay, we're good here. We're comfortable with them. They're not it's the energies. Like, that's it.
Energy matters so much and it speaks before we do.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to start, I wanted to ask you if you could say and spell your name for me so that it's pronounced correctly and spelled correctly.
Easy. It's Grace Keros, Gracekeros.
Do you have a middle name?
I don't.
I know some people don't. I always think that's an interesting question to ask.
Yeah,
So
don't. I
was
like
curious.
it. You ask away. Ask whatever you want.
Well, when you sit down on a plane next to somebody who doesn't know you and they ask you what you do, how do you answer that question?
Restaurant business.
Restaurant business. And then do they ask more?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
What do you tell them? What kind of restaurant business
I'm a
do you
third
say?
generation restaurant owner. Been in business for 109 years this year. There may be some businesses, and this is what people don't understand. Oh, there's businesses that have been around. I go, yeah, sure they have, but they've changed ownerships. You know what I mean? They've changed names. This is the same family, same blood. So there's lies the difference.
And you are in downtown Detroit.
Our building is shaped like a triangle. We're red, white, and blue. We're like a piece of American pie, and we occupy like 3 streets: Michigan, Lafayette, and then right at the point of this triangle, Griswold crosses. We're right in the nucleus of this city.
I obviously want to talk to you about you and about your family, but I think about a structure and I think about architecture and buildings. And if that space, that intersection that you just described had eyes and ears, it's seen a lot. What do you think that corner has witnessed throughout its lifetime?
So much change. I mean, I don't even know how far back. We have photos on the wall. There was a little building. It looked like a little house on the prairie building. This building's been around for forever. And then you see the evolution, how it was built. And then during Detroit's prime, when Detroit was like the city in the United States of America, it had like 3 more floors on top of it. And then after some years, apparently my grandpa decided to shave 2 floors off, and then it just stayed. It's still worth 3 floors up, but there was like 5 and 6. So you just see the differences in architecture. You just see the differences in the times, from the riots to prohibition. When alcohol, that 1917, that's when we opened. And that's kind of what helped grandpa get his first start. Because really, we were like the first speakeasy per se in the city of Detroit. Grandpa was shining shoes and cleaning hats. That's how he started on the corner of where we are right now, prior to getting the smaller space, and made a little money. And then a certain space became available where we are. And he continued cleaning hats, but you couldn't drink. Alcohol wasn't available. So down in our basement, he would bring in all the old timers who had migrated over, and they would gamble, smoke, and drink. While he was making money doing that, we're Greek, you feed people. And so if you fed them, they'll stay longer. They'll play cards longer. They'll drink longer. So he went upstairs. He remembers seeing hot dogs at the amusement park, Coney Island in New York. And he goes, I'm gonna put some hot dogs on a grill. The grill is still at the same spot it was when he started. Different grill, obviously. And just started making hot dogs. He remembers seeing that the chili recipe is a Greek chili recipe that he put together. It's like a meat sauce recipe. Put mustard and onions on it. And here we are, 109 years later.
109 years later. So next year will be 110 in
Yes.
2027.
Yes.
Now, if we have a listener or two in Hong Kong, what is a coney?
A coney, yes, we need to make sure they realize that a coney is not a New York thing. A Coney Island in New York is an amusement park. And I fight with New Yorkers all the time with this, but they get it once I explain it to them. I go, it is an amusement park in New York. Awesome, great. That sells hot dogs and a bunch of other things. In Detroit, the Coney Island is the actual thing that is on your plate that you are eating. And it is a soft, steamy bun with a hot dog, but it's not really a hot dog, it's a sausage. It's a proprietary recipe made specifically for us. Nobody else can get it. The chili recipe, it's a creamy, beanless chili, Greek spices. We have our own chili company that produces it and makes it just for us. Nobody else can have the chili. A tangy mustard and a sweet onion. Vidalia when it's in season, a different kind of sweet onion when it's not in season. And that is the Coney Island in Detroit. We're known for it all over the world. This is what we're famous for, and my grandpa invented it.
Your grandpa invented it. Did he have the name American Coney Island from the start?
He did. He should have trademarked it. I'd be sitting on a beach right now. I don't know. I just say that as a joke, but yes. Because if you notice, there's a lot of Coney Islands and a lot of things around Michigan, and they all started, they branched out from my grandpa and his generation, and then also from my father. Because what grandpa did is start bringing people over and teaching them the business and helping them further and go on. My dad also, now we're going into the 60s and 70s. My father did the same thing. He was bringing cousins over from Greece. Here's a store. Here's this. You go on and do your thing. And everybody named it a Coney Island, not American, obviously. But they turned it wasn't like we're the original. We still have a very limited menu. We're the one. The other ones are more like diners, like they're doing scrambled eggs. And that's fine, but that is not us.
But they all stem from your
everybody
granddad's
stemmed
idea.
from my grandpa or my father.
One thing that really fascinates me about you is that you have so much information and knowledge about your family history. I think there are a lot of us who don't know and maybe didn't ask questions while the answers were still around.
Yeah.
But you have such detail. Tell me how your stories, like your grandpa's story, your dad's story, got passed down to this extent that you know it with such great detail.
Well, see, and thanks for saying that, because sometimes I think I didn't ask enough or maybe didn't listen enough. But now my grandpa died when I was very young. I think I was like 4 or 5, and I don't remember much about him. I do remember that was the first time I saw my father cry. That sticks out in my head. As a little girl, I remember we were actually in the limo going to the cemetery, and I remember that, and I'm like, oh my God, my dad's crying. So that I remember. The other stuff I don't, but I have to give testament to my father for passing on the stories to myself, my siblings, and us absorbing it. And again, I wish we would absorb it a little more, but we're also fortunate that there's been a lot documented about us, but there's also been a lot of people around us, people that remembered our stories or new stories, or a relative that could fill in a hole. Dad wouldn't remember, but somebody else would remember. And then you kind of piece it together. Then there's the historical museum, the library. They had certain facts or photos. I'm like, oh shoot, now that makes sense. So it's just a little bit of everything, and a lot from my family and my parents, and then some digging. And again, thanks for saying, I wish I would have asked even more.
I think we all feel that way. I think there's not a person alive who doesn't feel that way. And unfortunately, the questions and the depth of curiosity, I don't think can come when we're that young. We just don't know.
It's as you get older. When we're younger, we just want the basics, and then we're moving on. We do other things. You're right. Yeah.
Tell me your grandfather's name and what's his start? What is his origin story? You started to tell it, but let's go back a little earlier.
Grandpa came over in 1906 from a village called Dada in Greece, southern part of Greece, and came over with nothing, a borrowed suit and whatever little money he had, and did the whole thing. Came to America for a brighter future and see what he could do, and he made it here. He landed in New York, Ellis Island, the whole thing. Couldn't find a job in New York though. He was illiterate, he couldn't read or write, so they wouldn't hire him.
What was his name?
It was Gus, and he spelled it Gust for some reason, Gust. It was Kyriakopoulos, but that's what they were doing back then. When they all landed in Ellis Island, they all started chopping the name off. So he made it Keros. And That, yeah, 1906. Damn, you just see nostalgia. Anyway, so he couldn't get hired in New York. They were, no, we're not hiring you. Okay. But you know, he was a Christian, so all his paperwork and everything, like he could write a little bit, but he would sign it with the cross because we're Christian, you know, we're Greek Orthodox. So that was sufficient back in the day, which is great. Then he heard the automotive business was hiring in Detroit. So I was like, oh, great. I'll go to Detroit. They'll, you know, they'll hire me there. I don't need like education for that. They didn't. They didn't hire him either. So he's like, all right. So on the same corner that we're at is where he started a little push cart, shining shoes and cleaning hats and selling some popcorn. Weird mix, I know. But, and then just worked, made some money. We're moving into 1917. A little space becomes available. Boom, here we are. And then we go into the speakeasy and the hot dog on the grill, etc.
And your grandpa had how many kids?
Grandpa, okay, my dad was the youngest. There was, oh my God, 9, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And all
And your
of them,
dad was the youngest.
my dad was the baby. Yeah. My dad was the one that took over. He actually went to U of M. He was going to be a dentist. I mean, because education is huge. We all did our college thing. No, it wasn't forced upon or thrown upon anyone. Not my father. My dad went, he went to school. He was going to dental school at U of M. But he's just like, you know what? I really want to do this business thing. And the same it was for me. I went to Michigan State Hotel Restaurant Management. It wasn't expected. People, oh yeah, it wasn't. It's like, get your education, and which is the beauty of, you know, my family. We're always supported in whatever we want to do. And then I'm like, I just did not like it. I go, this stuff's boring. I want to get into the family business. 9 to 5 is not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. Like, this isn't going to work. And, you know, we're in downtown Detroit. I'm a woman. I'm the first woman who jumped in and took over. My dad's like, really? You want to get into this? I go, yeah. I just loved it because every day is different. The dynamics, the history, the city. I do.
Do you remember being there as a young girl? Do you
I
remember
remember,
running around the
all the
restaurant?
time. We'd go to church, or my mom would take us to church and we'd come by and have lunch. And I remember my dad in the little office down here counting the money and, you know, working and stuff. Or we'd go to Hudson's at Christmas. You know, Hudson's was a big department store, which is now Macy's. But that was the big thing. And you go see Santa Claus and go up to one of their restaurants and, you know, we'd all dress up, you know, good old days. That stuff I remember. And then we'd come and have lunch. Yeah, I do. I do.
What do you recall observing, if you can remember anything, as a young girl in there watching your dad work? Like, do
That he
you
worked his
remember
ass off.
impressions?
His work ethic and his kindness with customers and his generosity with staff. And Dad always said, you take care of your staff, they're going to take care of you. Yeah, there are going to be a few bad apples along the way, 100%. I mean, and it's so, it's like, so you think it's a no-brainer, right? Because in my head, I was like, yeah, Dad, no shit. You take care of your staff. He goes, no, but a lot don't. And I mean, when I say take care of them above and beyond, as we still do today, we don't know any different. That's what we've been taught. That's what we learned. That's how we grew up.
It gives me chills when you say that, to know that you care that much.
You know, you have to. You don't have to, I guess, but I mean, it's genuine. I just don't know any different. I mean, when my grandpa started making money, he built some of the first Greek Orthodox churches here. He didn't like sock it. Like, he was building churches. He was bringing people over, paying for them to come and stay. My dad, like I said, in the 60s and 70s, brought a ton of my uncles over, 10, 11 of them. And Dad at that point had a few restaurants, and he was literally giving them a store. Like, here you go, run this, run this, run this. Then after that, it's yours. So this is what was happening. This is what we grew up with. This is what we know. It's kind of like, yeah, that's how it should be.
And so did your dad come up in that? I know you mentioned that he went to dental school, but was he also sort of always in the restaurant before he
yeah, I
decided to
don't know
jump?
what extent, but he was always in and out of here helping when they needed it, helping on the weekends, and, you know, doing whatever Grandpa needed done. Yeah.
Where are the women in this picture before you?
I had 2 aunts, but they were never involved in it. Like, that would be my dad's sisters. They were never really part of it. I'm sure they came through in and out of here. There's a few pictures with them popping in and out, but nobody has, like, you know, and in those days, I guess I should say, the women were getting married more younger and doing other things, which I get. And there's nothing, you know, that was different times, different eras. It's, you know, rare, and especially in a city. I mean, not obviously not in today's day, but I started 40, it's been 40 years, 39, 40 years that I took over. I'm old now, but, and I love it. And every year gets better and better, but every year also gets more challenging and every year gets more crazy. And you have to have a certain kind of stomach and a brain mentality and personality to be in a restaurant business, let alone in a restaurant business in a heart of a city. I mean, I am in downtown Detroit. A lot of dynamics going on, good and bad.
For sure. You know, you talked about the intersection where the restaurant is located. And having been there, for me, what I observed is it's also really an intersection of people. Talk
It
to
is.
me a little bit about how it is such a central spot where everyone is welcome and what you see in your customers. You're an observer, I can tell. You see people.
I see everything. I mean, everybody comes through here. Everybody. I mean, from the highest executive to the celebrity to the regular person to the, I'm going to say, a vagrant off the street. Everyone's running through here or coming through here at some point. It's such a meeting spot. And what makes it, let me tell, it makes customers feel good. They know when they come here, it's like nostalgia. They know it's like a given. They know what they're going to eat. They know what it's going to taste like. It's a comfort. I mean, it really takes a whole different definition of the word comfort food. It's just nostalgia. It brings back good feelings. What the customer thing with me, what I love, and this happens almost every day, especially during the holidays or like when people have summer breaks, because you see more of the families and kids, is the traditions. There'll be people that have started coming here when they knew my grandpa, and then from then to now, they've got their kids, their grandkids' kids, and their kids, and you see a grandfather, a father, his son, and his little baby now. And these generations, it's a thing to them. They want to take pictures. They want to talk about it. I hear stories about, I came here right before I went and gave birth. I needed a hot dog. I came here when my husband divorced me because I wanted to have, this was where my husband proposed to me. And I'm talking in the ages, I get these older people who are like in their 80s, some in their 90s, that like remember my father as a young person. Like, it's crazy. So, and I've heard some things, from customers that remember like my dad at certain times when he was younger in here, which I didn't know, which my dad probably didn't even remember because he was young then. So those are the things I love. And this happens every Christmas. I'll give you an example. We have, there's families that come in from all over, and their first stop is us. They just land at the airport. And again, this happens daily or weekly. Hey, I just got in from here. We came right here to have a Coney before we go do our family weekend. I used to live here. I moved, everybody's moved. They have a story, but this is their first stop. Now, again, it amplifies during the holidays because everyone's visiting family. It starts at Thanksgiving through New Year's. And the stories I hear just in that timeline, that month alone, from like Thanksgiving to Christmas, is insane. And I'm going to go back to the one family. It's the Wednesday before Christmas or whatever day, like Christmas. Well, it was this year Wednesday, but the day before Christmas Eve. So like Christmas Eve, these people started coming in here when they were just a one couple, man and a woman, and they had just got married and this was their place. And today, this two people have turned into 136 showing up. And it's all the kids, grandkids, aunts, uncles, siblings. It is everybody. Thanksgiving Day parade. There's another family. This man started coming in here. He would bring the kids in. They were younger. He probably had 6, 7 kids. Well, now, how many years later, these 6, 7 kids, they come in. They're the last family toward the end of the Thanksgiving Day parade. And we're like 48 of them. And we know that when that ends, that's when we're all done. The parade's over, and then we all go home and eat turkey. And I could go on we'd have to have a documentary series to keep talking.
As you were telling me these stories, I'm imagining time passing and people coming and going, and maybe the chairs change a little or the tables get replaced, but
nothing else does. Yeah.
The recipes don't change. The menu doesn't change.
Nope.
The service doesn't change.
No.
But the thing that was crossing my mind was that it sounds like you've created an environment where people can absorb a world that we all wish we lived in, where we're seen, where we're comforted, where we're fed, where we're accepted, where there's something aspirational there.
Yeah.
There's a way to be of service
Yeah.
there. I just
Yes.
think there's such a richness to everything that you said. And, I don't mean to parse it out into a way that
No,
feels
I
clinical,
love it.
but
I like hearing that from your perspective, because sometimes I talk, and I don't know if it comes out, but I'm just how I say it is how I say it, and I'm genuine, authentic to the bone. So I appreciate you kind of like bringing it together for me like that.
and so how many years has it been since you took over?
It's 40 now, I think. See, I'm 61 this year. Yeah, I can't. What happened? Where did 40 years? And you
You've
know
been
what?
pouring into people.
Each generation has taken it to the next level. There's a lot of generational family businesses that by the time it gets a second or third, they destroy it. We've gotten bigger and bigger.
I would like to talk about that a little bit. Generational family businesses. They can be the best stories, they can be the hardest stories, they can be so complicated, and they can be beautiful, or all of those things at the same time. If there was somebody in a family business, maybe they're the second, maybe they're the third generation, what do they need to be thinking about as they take the reins?
Do they really want to do it? Do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you think you're going to disappoint your parents or your whoever. It could be an uncle that has a business and they want you to go in. Don't do it. You want to do it. It wasn't thrown upon me. That was the thing. I wanted to do it. And if I didn't want to do it after I started, I could have easily moved on and done something else. The more I got into it, the more I wanted to do it. I mean, when I say you have to love it, we're talking about a restaurant business. There's many generational businesses that are doing other things, but we're specifically talking about restaurants right now, a fast casual business that's boom, go, 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 go all day long. Right. So that's a whole nother different situation. And you have to be ready for it. And if you love that kind of thing, then this is for you. If you don't even think about it, because it will test you to no ends. But then the rewards are also worth it.
Talk to me about some of those tests, and inevitably being in business for 40 years, you alone.
A lot of it, and well, my brother is my business partner. My brother actually went to Michigan State Supply Management. It's important to bring him up because my little brother, I'm the oldest, he's the youngest. We got two in the middle.
And what's his name?
His name is Chris. And my brother went, we have a 12-year age difference. And he went to Michigan State Supply Chain Management. Then he got into a business with a friend of his who started a huge franchise business. And he was one of their director of operations, one of their top guys. And about almost 20 years ago, we have a location in Las Vegas. Now, when this became available to me, though, I'm getting older now, right? And I'm like, you know what? I really want my brother. And again, I didn't know if he wanted to, whatever. I said, I really want my brother involved. So I called him. I go, we talked about some things. And I go, I know you've got this thing there and it's going freaking fantastic for you. But I really, let's just do this. And because in order for me to make it all work, you need someone you're going to trust, someone who you're on the same page with, but yet we may have different ways to approach things. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And so he did. And it was the best thing that I ever did. So my brother and I are business partners. He's amazing. It's like the two of us, we're kind of like good cop, bad cop in a way, just because my personality is totally different. We think a lot alike, but again, there's different ways to get there. Like I'm going to go, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And he's going to be a gentleman about things, but that you need that. We kind of play off each other, right? And like we're there to make a decision. Like we need to make a decision that, hey, this pen is great. Well, I may go this way to get to that point. He's going straight that way. I'm like, we just talked for an hour, all talking about the same conclusion. But that's what makes it fun, because I'll just sit there and shake my head and go, oh my God, the young generation. He just look at me and go, old lady. But we joke around. We've always been doing that there were so many times growing up that they thought I was his mom. I'm like, do I look like his mother, like his little girlfriends and stuff back in the day? He's married now, 2 kids, beautiful wife. I mean, she is like my sister for sure. And I go, can you believe it? They used to think he would be in college and I'd go visit him and they go, oh, is this your mom? And I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. But so it's important to have someone you trust. It's important to have someone you grew up with the same family values. I mean, the core of what we were brought up with. One of them, I was just kind of just going, see, I don't stop. Sometimes you do have to cut me off. Is growing up that knowing you have to know when to separate the business from the family. Like when we're all having a barbecue or it's Easter and it's Christmas. Yeah, we may throw some little business stuff conversation, but know when to let it go. You know what I mean? And just enjoy each other. Take that family trip or go see the kids' football game and soccer game and hang out. And maybe just like, hey, so how'd things go at the store today? Or how's the Vegas thing going? Or, you know, like a little bit of that, but don't dwell on that when we're when we're away from here.
So one core value would be knowing how to separate work and family life.
Yes.
What are other core values you have?
Trust. I mean, trust is huge, right? I trust him. He trusts me. You know, you have to, because there's a lot of people that have issues, those kind of issues in families. I mean, yeah, do we argue? We have but nothing like that. Boundaries, I guess, but I mean, we're so close that people think something's wrong with us. My sisters and brother, we talk all the time. We see each other all the time. We're crazy. I mean, even growing up in school, they go, God, you guys are like just always, we love each other's company. We like hanging out with each other. We have a good time. You know, faith is huge for us. You know, we saw my mother and father taking care of us to the umpteenth degree, and we do the same. And so there's so much stuff, and that all comes from them. When we were younger, you know, like I said, we just love each other. We love hanging out with each other, and then we get sick of each other. We tell them, okay, I'm good for a day or two, and then the phone rings. All right, what's up? What are you doing today? Yeah, you know.
Did you ever get in trouble when you were a kid? And if so, what for?
I didn't get in trouble very much. The other ones, all the time, because I was the oldest, so I was smart enough to understand, even young, believe it or not. And I don't want this to come across as like, oh, stuck up or she's full of herself. No. Being the oldest, you know, you have a lot of responsibility. The other ones got away with murder. But I was smart enough to, you know how to either avoid it. And I'm talking about from little to even like in high school, you know, I'm going to stay out a little late, be at this time, whatever. Yeah. I'll give you one example. So you're in high school, you know, you have your car, you just learn how to drive, you're going to the parties. We didn't have cell phones and that crap back then. But mom just wanted to make sure that, hey, if you're running a little late, make a phone call. You know, she's a Greek mother, very protective, but also open. She wasn't one of those that sheltered us like crazy. I mean, we were in sports, we were doing anything. But what she would ask for, and my sister and I have a year apart, so we'd go out a lot together. And you know what you did when you're 16, 17, you just went out with the kids, whatever. She would just say, if you think you're running late, just find a phone and call me. And everybody has it, because you're just hanging out at people's houses at this point, you know, or going to the 7-Eleven, well, in my case, and having a Slurpee or maybe a little vodka and Slurpee, I don't know. But so I would do that. We're at a friend's house, they're having a little party. And I'm going to say a little later, I was smart enough to figure out, I'm going to go find that phone in one of the rooms, you know, the phone with the landline and the thing. And I was, hey, mom, I'm just going to stay extra early. I'm good. I'm at, you know, whoever's house. She was, all right, cool. Thanks that's all she needed. Now my sister would do her thing and just disregard the call. And, you know, 2-3 hours later, my mother's pissed, as she should be. Why? And then they would just go back and forth, and she would like talk back. I'd be like, dude, just shut up. Say, okay, next time I call, or just, you know what? Find a phone and you could still stay out and it would be okay. So it was just stuff like that. But you know, you're 16, you're 17, it's 15, that type of thing.
I think it sounds like a very active home life you all had.
It was active because church every Sunday, Sunday school, piano lessons. Oh, we did it all, but we wanted to do it all. And whatever we didn't want to do, we were forced on us. If you like it, continue. If you don't, we were introduced to it. That's probably the best way to say it. Whatever you want to pick.
I love that.
And it wasn't like, oh no, you better stick with it. Of course, don't. Now, if you start it though, you're not stopping halfway through. Finish it out. And then we'll revisit it for the next session or season. But no, don't you stop anywhere halfway through. That's just no way. No, don't quit.
You mentioned sports, and I think that was a big part of your life growing up.
Huge,
You mentioned
huge
that
part of life.
before. Tell me about what sports did for you, what sports you played, and how that is carried through into your career and the person that you are
I played
today.
basketball. I was fortunate to have one of the best coaches. He's still alive. He's going to turn 90 this summer. And we're planning a party for him. We just got inducted into the Capillary Conference Michigan Hall of Fame, my team from high school. So I'm a Hall of Famer twice. Once for
Wait, what's
Lansing,
that school called?
Okemos High School.
Okay.
Class of 83. My coach's name is Coach Ron Mott. He went on after to coach at U of M and some other colleges. One of the best influences in my life after my parents, my grandpa, my grandma is Coach Ron Mott. Unbelievable man. Unbelievable. To this day, all us girls, when we get together, everybody's all over the country. We like last year we got the Hall of Fame, so we were all together. And it was like nothing ever changed since the class of 83. And this man taught us, if we didn't learn it from our family, there was discipline, there was showing up, there was toughness, no excuses, no bullshit. But he's the kindest. I need to go visit him actually soon because I keep in touch with his daughter, keep in touch with his wife. His wife's, so we all keep in touch, if that tells you anything. How many years later?
And I don't want to miss this because we sort of stepped on each other there, but you were saying you had two-time what?
Okay, so we were at Capillary Conference Hall of Fame for girls basketball. We won state championships. So here, 40 years later, they gave us this. And then there was another one, Michigan Hall of Fame for same thing. Yeah, we were
That
pretty
is
good in our
awesome.
day for a bunch of older ladies. Now,
Sports can just stay in our veins. I think all those lessons that Coach Mott taught you and that you obviously learned through other avenues of sport and through work and through your parents and grandparents, it's visceral in a way that we have no concept of at the time when those building blocks are being created.
yeah, yeah. It was one of the best times of my life. Yes. And we were disciplined to the core because you had basketball, you had practice during the summer. It was 2-3 practices, then games. And then my mom had a donut shop, right? So back then in Okemos, and so we'd still go up and help and work there, then do this. I mean, constantly busy with responsibilities and structure, but yet always time for fun. Summer trips to Greece, summer, trips to Mexico. There was always the getaways. Everything got worked out. There's a way to do it, and we did it. Again, it's just testament to parents and the coaches, and let's not forget our grandparent. Well, my grandma, I knew from my mom's side, she was with us. That was one I was able to enjoy, until she passed. So, yeah.
The work you do, because I was able to witness it, is really physical work that
Oh
you
my.
do. And so, no doubt, that's sort of a workout in its own. But what do you do physically, mentally to stay healthy now?
I watch my health, right, as best as I can. I eat well. I mean, it's not like I'm constantly dieting or anything. No, but you watch what you eat. But then if there's something, I'm splurging. I'm having 2-3 cocktails. I'm gonna eat the cake. I'm gonna do all of it. But then again, if I have a weekend that's really hard, or there's an event and there's gonna be more drinking or eating involved, then the next week I'm just gonna pull it back a little bit. I used to work out a lot, right? I was in sports all my life, but now it's a lot lighter. It's just like I'm tired. You know what I mean? The knees hurt, the ankles, just all busted up stuff from sports. There's arthritis happening in places. I'm like, what? But I like to walk. I like summertime. I love swimming. I like doing that. Just, simple stuff, really. Nothing crazy. I just keep moving. I don't sit still. I can't sit still. But I like doing things around the house. I love cooking. I love trying new recipes. I'm a Food Network freak. I love. I know a lot of them. A lot of them are my friends. A lot of the chefs, because I've done a lot of TV stuff with them, and I'm crazy. I love. I'm buying. Listen, I am single. Okay, I'm not married. I have kids. But I'll go to the grocery store and you think I'm buying for 3 or 4 people. But then I always drop some off my sisters, my brothers, whatever. And I just like trying new things. But I love Greek food. That my mother was the best Greek cook around. And we learned everything. I wish I would have paid more attention. But you know, there's recipes, but there's not, you know how it is. It's like, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, the blue cup worth of sugar. And I'm like, well, if you don't have a blue cup, you don't know how much sugar to put in this recipe. That is no joke. But you figure it out. And I got smart as I got older and I started kind of writing things down. I was looking for one of her Easter cookie recipes. And I thought none of us will ever be able to replicate that again after she passed. Like, none of us are going to be able to do this because there was something about it. And yet we'd see her do it. We'd help her, you know, roll them. But I never saw like the real guts of that. I don't know. We were busy, just busy. And one day she must have been starting them. And I was sitting, I remember it now after I found it randomly in a box of stuff I had saved. It was an old Consumer's Energy envelope bill. And she must have said, because she used to say this, write some of this down because when I'm gone, you're going to be, I'm like, Mom, you're good. You're not going anywhere. You know, we don't want to think about her mother's going anywhere. So that sucked. It still sucks today. But anyways, so I must have wrote it down. But if you see how I wrote it down, let me tell you, I did that recipe. I found it last year at Easter. I did it. I nailed it. My sisters and brother were like, holy shit. I'm like, right?
What was the dish?
It's called a kouloudi. It's a Greek Easter cookie, and it's a specific kind. It's like a cookie you have with your coffee, but specifically made for Easter, especially. It's made a little different. And it's like flour, sugar, butter, ammonia, baking ammonia, a little bit of orange zest. But it's the way most people make them, and they're crunchier and like flatter. My mother's used to be fluffy and soft, and there was this aroma to them. So we were missing something, you know, like my sister would make it, but not that they weren't good. Other recipes, they're good, but I didn't like them. I wanted this one. I figured it out. You would have thought I won like oh my God. I was so excited, so happy. They couldn't believe it. They're like, what happened? And then I sent a text message to my sisters and my brother. I go, look, and it was the Consumer's Energy bill with me writing some half-assed stuff on there on the front and the back. Could not believe it. I'm like, is this it? I was like looking for something else. I don't know what I was looking for. Probably a copy of some insurance or whatever. I'm like, what the heck? Dude, that was crazy. I believe she put it there for me because I was every Easter I go, Mom, what did you do? What was that other little thing that gave it to the next level? So
She put it there for you.
she did. Oh, I believe it. That 100%.
Do you believe in things like when you see a cardinal?
Yes, I believe all that. Yes, I do.
Messengers.
Yep. I sure do.
Do you want to say more about that?
No, other than I do believe in it, and it's I've witnessed it, I've seen it, you know what I mean? I felt it, and certain things that I've witnessed and experienced have come true, and I just know it just from something like that. Or like, hey, where the heck is this? Or I talk to my mom every day. I just talk to her because I miss her so much. I miss my father a lot too. I miss him. My dad's fresh. It's been like 3 years now. My mom's we're going on 10. You think it was yesterday though, because that was a shock. It shouldn't have happened. So that's a whole different thing. Heart, you know, anyways. And so I'll mention stuff and talk to her. I just say, hey, good morning. I pray to her, you know, like I pray every day. And I'll be thinking of something and this will pop up or that'll pop up. I'm like, okay, yeah, coincidences. Okay, sure. I'm sure. But no, there is. I believe it. Anybody who doesn't believe it, they're entitled to it. I do. And we'll leave it at that.
When it comes to the business, you've obviously encountered all kinds of challenges over the years and built all kinds of resilience.
Oh boy, yeah.
And I bet entrepreneurship has probably changed over the years. What advice would you give the younger version of yourself, knowing what you know now?
That's a great question. I mean, jeez, just be ready for anything. I mean, honestly, it's hard to say because when you're younger and you really don't know where you're going to end up, I don't know what to what to tell myself. But I just know that if you do start something, don't quit. But also, if you do start something and you don't love it, don't do it. That's in anything. Anything. If it doesn't fulfill you and make you happy, like I love the chaos. I love the craziness. You witnessed it. You were here. There's all kinds of things going on. I mean, I'm doing a chaos. chaotic lunch hour. I could have a crazy off the street, trying to stab somebody, and a TV film crew coming in to do a show, and, the president of the United States or the governor walking in at any given moment. So all of that I love. And yet I could say I'm the best busboy this place has ever seen. I can outrun these young guys like anything. And I love it. There you have it.
Maybe you wouldn't need to give your younger self advice, because what I'm hearing, and you tell me if this is true for you, is that maybe the not knowing was exactly what you needed.
That's probably exact. Yeah. Yes. Even though I'm a very regimented and scheduled person, like I like things in order and schedule and organized, and not to the point of like that crazy, but I just need to know. I like an outline. But yeah, you're right. But then there's sometimes I'll just go off the wing and just go, I really don't know, but you know what? And I have a gut feeling and I'm going for it.
Can you just really quickly pretend that I've just ordered 2 things and you're going to call it out to the team of what they're going to cook?
Yes. What are you ordering? Do you remember? I'm testing you.
One up with extra mustard.
Oh, look at you. Yes, you do. Good job. One up. You do remember.
But you say it with gusto.
Well, I'm going to turn around and go, one up, heavy mustard. Or you said no mustard. What did you say? No mustard?
Heavy.
Heavy. Okay, so I got that right. Right.
Yeah. What's the most unique order?
I don't know. You can get 2 on 1, no onions.
No, but I want you to say it.
2 on 1 without, meaning no onions, and a chili cheese fry. That's all. We just yell it here. We just yell the orders out.
Okay. Let's role play for 1 second. I just have one more question about this.
You're good at this.
This is fun. You make it fun. I love these
questions.
I want a Coney dog with fries and let me start over. I'd like a Coney dog with ketchup, please.
We don't do ketchup. If you want, put it on yourself. I frown upon it. Ketchup is for fries, ma'am.
But I want ketchup on my Coney, please.
Whatever suits you, but I will not put it on. You have to do it yourself, and I'll give you the bottle. Absolutely against the law here.
You cracked me up.
It's true.
I do it
all the time, and they look at me. I go, I'm dead serious. Here's the bottle.
You won't put ketchup on my dog?
No, they put it on yourself. We're the ketchup police over here.
Yeah, no wiggle room.
No, we have standards.
You have standards. I'm curious, how have you seen your employees grow, your coworkers grow over time? No doubt you've known people a long time. Some probably stay short, some long.
They've been here for forever. I mean, honestly, there's one thing, I don't have a huge turnover at all. I mean, and I should say, we eat at our Vegas location or here, and like my brother and I were because you take care of you have to, we're kind of going back to what we talked about. If you take care of your staff well and everybody's happy, yet of course, holding them accountable, making sure, not all of them. Again, there's always a bad apple and everything that, we're one that just isn't going to work out. Doesn't mean they were bad, just wasn't cut out for them. They're going to stay with you because they know you're loyal. They know, and they're loyal to me and I'm loyal to them.
If somebody is just starting a business and they want it to be their everything, and they want to do right.
What kind of
business? Let's say restaurant business, because that's what you do.
Yes.
And you say treat your employees right. What notes would they need to take down? What does that entail? What does that look like? What does treating your employees right and taking care of them look like?
Well,
practically,
let's face it. The initial thing and what everybody talks about is their pay, what they get paid, how they're treated once they're at work, respect, but it also has to be reciprocated. And know that you're working for good people and you'll meet good people, a respectable place, and that together everybody's going to thrive. I mean, it's pretty basic. That's why sometimes I stumble over it, because in my head, it's like, well, that should be like common sense. right? Like that should be, 101. Hello, everybody knows that, but they don't. And then sometimes you go
And
beyond and you pay great and you do great and they try to screw you over. And then that hardens you a little bit because there's that. Like I said, you'll have those. It's like these people can't be happy with anything, whoever it is, some guy or some girl or whoever. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, well, then I guess what? It's not going to work.
how do you take the advantageous quality of being hardened a little bit without getting jaded?
Well, give them a chance. I guess. I mean, I don't get jaded because I know everybody's different. So I have to, I may be guarded a little more, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's for anything in life, actually. I'll give an opportunity, but I'll know right away. I've gotten to the point where I know right away now. I can tell.
Do you trust your gut?
Yeah, immediately. And it hasn't failed me yet. It's again, not to something, just something tells me. And maybe I'm in my head, I think it is. Maybe I was wrong or I missed that opportunity. Well, if I did, it wasn't meant to, I'm at that point. Maybe it wasn't meant to be, or maybe it'll come back. And if it doesn't, all right. People sit and dwell on things and what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and then they lose out on everything else in life. If you sit and dwell on stuff, yeah, maybe for a minute I'll go, shit, maybe I should have done that or done that. But if you dwell on it, and again, I don't have many of those up I really don't, because sometimes I'll just go for it. I do, not sometimes, most of the time. What do you got to lose? You dwell on it and let it eat at you. That's why other people have failures, I believe. It's like, move on, keep going.
What are you in the middle of right now, if anything? It could be a garden, it could be a change at work, it could
At
be
home,
whatever.
I like doing like some plants and flowers and, like mint and oregano, little things like that. Nothing crazy, nothing big, right? I just little things just because it makes me happy. I need to get a good tan is what I need to get, but I need to start. But we have fireworks. Summer's supposed to be, summer's busy downtown. So we have like fireworks event coming up, but we have some situations and some challenges with like teen takeovers and some things going on in the downtown here that we're not happy. So we're having conversations, the mayor, the chief of police, and we're trying to figure out ways to keep everybody safe, yet allow the youth to enjoy, but a lot of work stuff right now. We're getting ready for a big long summer and we want everyone to be safe. And this is what the city is looking at. Also, like yesterday, I was in Lansing, which is our capital. I am a board member of the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. Been on that. I love that. We change policy. We get in front of the governors, the reps, the senators. I met with all the senators, all the representatives yesterday. We're talking about things that need to be either changed, tweaked, fixed regarding the restaurant industry, employees. We're out there fighting for a cause, and I love doing that too. So
That's one thing that I was thinking about with respect to you. You're very much a part of the community. If you didn't do any of those other things, if you are purely involved in your community through American Coney Island, you are very involved. But are there any other ways that you're civically or community involved? Any groups, organizations that you're part of?
Aside from the restaurant or the other one, because the Michigan Restaurant Lodging Association is a huge one, but I'm also part of the Autism Alliance of Michigan. We do some charity stuff for them. The Firefighters Fund, Paraplegic and Injured Firefighters, the Detroit Police Department, Widows and Children's Fund. We do a Coney eating contest. We do chili cook-offs. Oh my God. And there's a bunch of little ones mixed in there that someone will come in and say, hey, will you be part of this? And we'll do that. Always got to give back. Always got to help somehow. Yeah, we do a lot of that. Our church, priests calling out every so often for something. We definitely do that. Never ends.
Do you like to read? And if so, are you reading anything right now?
I like to read, but I don't have the patience to sit down. I've read some books, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not like that book person. I would rather like just maybe put on some music, put on the Food Network, let it play in the background, or some just some shows and hear things. I love news. I like good trashy TV because when I watch stuff, I want to watch stuff that I don't have to think about it. I like good movies and series like that. Yeah, I'm not a huge book reader. My father was, like I said, even if I'm sitting at a beach in Greece and I just can't take a book out. I'm in the water. I'm running around. I'm doing something. I can't, no, not for me. No time for that. It's terrible, isn't it?
It's not terrible. You learning all the time. You are learning from, you have more exposure to people than the average person does. And I think because you're such a keen observer and a great listener and you're curious, I imagine that you are learning all day, every day.
All day. I need to help my brain calm down. Like, stop. Just quiet down a little bit. Quiet down.
What is a kindness that you've received recently or not recently?
You know,
Could be small, it could be big.
I love customers, just good words from customers. I mean, honestly, from family, you get it all the time, you know, and I love that and appreciate it from my nieces, my nephews. But you know, when a customer comes in here and kind of tells you their story and says like, "Hey, thank you for being here," you know, "Thank you for doing this." They see me on the news and they see me fighting policy and fighting crap, and when they come in and really appreciate that, "Hey, thanks for doing all that for us. We heard you. We saw you." That because I'm making a difference for them. It's simple, really simple stuff. I don't need any kind of big. I like that.
Do you like to sing?
I like to sing, but I'm not a good singer. And you're going to ask me probably I love Greek music. We grew up with Greek music. I also love country music. I mean, I really like a little bit of everything. I just don't like that hard rock stuff. I'm old now, remember? My music tastes have changed. I went to high school in the 80s. I'm class of 83. I like all that oldies stuff. But I love Elvis, you know what I mean? And so, and yeah, I love music, but Greek music is my favorite. Dance Greek, sing Greek, I love that.
Well, I want to say thank you before I ask you the next question. This has been so much fun. But is
Thank
there a
you.
song
You're
that you could
amazing.
sing?
Can I what?
This is so fun.
No,
Would you
this
sing
is
a
so
song?
fun. Oh,
Just part
heck
of
no,
it?
I'm not singing.
Just
No
sing us
way.
out?
No, I'm not singing anything. Come
No.
on down to
If
American Coney Island if you're in Detroit or in Las Vegas, or order a Coney kit.
Oh, through the mail?
Yeah, we ship out Coney kits. I started a shipping business like 20 some years ago, and our warehouse is right down the street. We ship out Coney kits all across the country. It comes in dry ice and a big white cooler. We ship out through Goldbelly now. It's wonderful. AmericanConeyIsland.com, or go right to Goldbelly. So all of you listening that are all around, not in Hong Kong though, if you're curious about what a Coney dog is, and you just go online and order, and it gets shipped. We ship out every week. Makes a great gift.
Thank you so much, Grace. This is
Thank
so
you.
fun.
You're amazing. This is so fun. I mean, usually I couldn't sit still for this long.
We've been here an hour. This is great.
This I like. Now I'm going to go upstairs
So
and
much
work
fun.
lunch rush. I'm in my office now.
These are early days of this podcast. I love having these conversations so much, and I love sharing them with you. If you want to share it with a friend, please do it, and please come back. The current name of this podcast is VOREEN. All right, have a good one.